Alright, we're gonna be talking about Sonic from the 90s. And yes, I'm talking about the USA interpretation and the Japanese interpretation. They're not even that different, but people love to say, oh, that's not Sonic, that's the American version of Sonic. And proceed to say their fanfic version of Sonic that they call Japanese Sonic. Even though I'm the one that reads those manuals. People say, "Oh, Japanese Sonic is nice," and Japanese Sonic was a jerk too. Do we watch the same Sonic OVA? The Shut Up Tales. He didn't even want to help the president because he didn't even care. Yeah, so Japanese Sonic was a jerk too. That's part of classic Sonic's character, being a jerk. So deal with it and get your fanfic classic Sonic out of your head. Modern Sonic isn't a jerk. Modern Sonic is a good person. Classic Sonic has more character to him. He's like a Space Jam character. Yeah. So to be honest with you, their difference isn't even that big. And people say, I don't like the Mohawk. Number one, it's not a Mohawk. It's just a weird perspective. Here, I'll show you multiple pictures of American Sonic without a Mohawk. Where's Sonic's Mohawk? I don't see anywhere. Where's his Mohawk? Probably because he never had one. American Sonic's design never had a Mohawk. It's called thick line art. The show misinterpreted Ray and Greg Martin's art. Fuck. So don't be shitting on Greg Martin because of your fanfic classic Sonic, who is just a cute little boy. Yeah, I said it. Go watch some actual pieces of 90s Sonic media and stop playing Sonic Forces and Generations and Mania over and over and just going based on that. Finally, I got that off my chest. I've been wanting to say that for a long ass time, to be honest. Anyways, let's talk about 90s Sonic. And no Sonic fans, Sonic CD, and no Japanese Sonic purists, CD wasn't the most well received game. And no, CD fanboys, CD did not define an era. And no, CD fans, Sonic CD is ass. It's ass cheeks, to be honest. I never liked CD. It's buggy as hell. Hella buggy. I keep getting stuck in a wall while time traveling. So no, I don't like Sonic CD, and I don't even care if you like it or don't like it. Alright, got that off my chest, but... Alright, I kinda like CD, but not as good as the others. My favorite Sonic game is Sonic Spinball. And yes, Sonic Spinball is canon. Alright, now I'm getting sidetracked about stuff. Anyways, let's talk about the lore real quick. Sonic is a hedgehog born on Christmas Island. And yes, I'll be mixing in US lore and Japanese lore, so deal with it, you little crybaby. Sonic is a hedgehog born on Christmas Island who happens to stumble on Dr. Kintobor's lab. Dr. Kintobor Robotnik. Dr. Kintobor starts building shit. He finds all 6 Chaos Emeralds, but he also mentions a 7th Chaos Emerald that he needs to find. And then after that, Sonic runs on a hamster wheel made by Kintobor. He ends up running and turning blue. Kintobor also gave him a new pair of training shoes. And after that, Kintobor puts a rotten egg with a soda and an explosion with all the rings, and all the evil energy went into Kintobor. Sonic has to run around saving the animals. And then Robotnik gets away, and that's before Sonic 1. And this is how Sonic 1 starts. Sonic has to start the new Dr. Kintobor that he loves. Not Kintobor, but it's Robotnik now. Forgot. Sonic has to go stop the Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Would that mean his first name is Robotnik and his last name is Robotnik? Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Sonic has to go save his friends, collect all 6 Chaos Emeralds. I meant 6 Chaos Emeralds. I'm used to there being 7. Collect all 6 Chaos Emeralds and free his South Island friends from the clutches of Dr. Ivo Robotnik Eggman. That's Sonic, basically Sonic 1. Let's talk about Sonic CD, canonically the second game in the timeline. Sonic has to go save Little Planet from Eggman and Metal Sonic. Amy keeps getting in our way, and then she gets kidnapped. Sonic, as mean as he could be, goes to save Amy. Sonic goes to save Amy, races Metal Sonic down Stardust Speedway. Starts with some time travel shenanigans. Then defeats Eggman, leaves Little Planet, collects all the time stones. And that's basically Sonic CD. Let's talk about Sonic 2. Sonic meets Miles Tails per hour while he's getting bullied. Well, Sonic and Tails were showing off to their friends, and after that, Tails kept getting bullied, and then Sonic had to stop the bullies. Yada yada yada, you know the deal. Sonic and Tails go to stop Eggman's new machine, the Death Egg, and Metal Sonic comes back as Silver Sonic, and yes, those are the same robot. The original Metal Sonic from CD is Silver Sonic and Mecha Sonic from Sonic 3. They're the same robot. The Metal Sonic we know now is from Knuckles Chaotix. Anyways, Sonic and Tails go to stop Silver Sonic and Dr. Eggman. Tails gets shot down, which canonically, in my opinion, is the first time Sonic has ever gone super, because how mad he is that Tails could have died. Sonic probably thought Tails died, but Tails came back with a rocket launcher on top of the tornado. Sonic goes to defeat Silver Sonic, barely defeats the Death Egg robot. Barely defeats the Death Egg robot. And after that, they fly to Angel Island, and Sonic gets the shit knocked out of Knuckles. And yes, classic Knuckles is stronger than classic Super Sonic. And no, it has nothing to do with his connection with the Chaos Emerald, because they never said that in the games. It never said that anywhere in the games. Also, Sonic did not beat Knuckles in Hidden Palace. It was a tie. The fight was interrupted by Dr. Eggman stealing the Master Emerald. Anyways, Sonic goes to stop Knuckles and Robotnik. Knuckles realizes he got tricked by Robotnik. Teams up with Sonic and Tails to go defeat Eggman. He has to one of Eggman's robots survive, and he has to go stop it from destroying Angel Island. And he's basically just playing Sonic 3 as Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Yeah, I said the title. Sonic goes to pick up Knuckles. After the events of that, Sonic Spinball happens. And yes, Sonic Spinball happens right after Sonic 3. Sonic and Tails go to stop Eggman, who wants to conquer the Mount Mobius, turning it into Veggie Fortress. And then Sonic has to go through his pinball defense system. And yada yada yada. Sonic literally fucking drowns a whole ass mountain. Because it was shown in Sonic 1 that Sonic could take down a mountain if he wanted to. Sonic was always mountain level from his classic debut. Anyways, let's move on to Knuckles Chaotix. Sonic probably drops Knuckles off right before Spinball happens. Sonic drops Knuckles off at Carnival Island. Yeah, I'm gonna say the English name because the Japanese name of the game, of the island, is fucking stupid, to be honest. He meets Vector, the crocodile. He starts meeting all new people and stops Eggman in the new Metal Sonic Kai. Yes, Metal Sonic Kai isn't the giant robot. It's the regular Metal Sonic. It's the modern day Metal Sonic. Anyways, Knuckles and his new friends go to stop Eggman. That's basically it for the 90s classic Sonic era story and timeline. Let's talk about the Game Gear games. The Game Gear games are an entirely separate continuity. Not very interesting. Sonic lives on South Island in that continuity. Sonic lives on South Island in that continuity. So no, the Game Gear games aren't canon to the Genesis games. Anyways, also Sonic Triple Trouble is a retelling of Sonic 3. Anyways, let's get into the cartoon series. Sonic Sat AM. Alright, before you say anything, yes, Sonic X is kinda a reimagining of Sonic Sat AM. Just in an anime art style. It's a reimagining, not a sequel or a spin-off. It's like a reboot / reimagining. Anyways, Sonic, Tails, Sally, Acorn, Bunny Rabbit, Antoine. Who else am I forgetting? It's that one Tony the Tiger looking motherfucker from that one episode where they're trying to escape. It's basically about them trying to fight Dr. Robotnik / Eggman from taking over the rest of the world because he wants to roboticize it, as they call it in the show. And no, Japanese Sonic purist, the show isn't connected to the American lore in the games. Get your facts right. And no, Archie isn't part of the show, because in the show, Uncle Chuck creates the rings. In the comics, a scientist creates the rings in the comics. I forgot his name, but he was like a black scientist. I forgot his name. Anyways, Sat AM, it's actually a pretty good show. I cannot lie. I watched that shit. That show was the shit. I low-key heavily messed with that show. I'm not gonna lie. I used to have DVDs of it, but my dad threw it away. You know, I wish I could have stopped him at that moment. Yeah. Also, I used to think Sonic Underground and Sat AM were the same show. And that's it. Anyways, let's talk about more of the Genesis games, but the backstory around Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and Amy. Sonic, the main star of the Genesis, Knuckles, the main star of the 32X, Amy, the main star of the Sega CD, Tails, the main star of the Game Gear. Tails was more the main character of the Game Gear. Amy was more the main character of the Sega CD. Knuckles was more the main character of the 32X. Anyways, let's talk about their characteristics. Sonic. For instance, classic Sonic is very different from his modern counterpart. There's a reason why they didn't let him talk in Generations. He's kind of a jerk, to be honest. Sega would not let this shit slide today, especially with the babyfied version of him. You know, for the new audience, so they kind of experience him. Yeah, I don't like modern Santiago. Sonic's whole attitude, his spice, something that makes him interesting, his mean ass attitude, his angry, cocky expressions he made. Yeah, all gone except and replaced with this silly Santiago. I don't really care about the shade of blue Sonic has, since it was kind of light blue in Sonic 1 CD. Most of the Game Gear games, Sonic was mostly light blue. Even in 3D Blast, he was light blue. So it makes sense for him to be light blue, I guess. But why did they have to make him so fucking cute? It's like chibi modern Sonic. This isn't classic Sonic. Personally, I would have made him more. His eyebrows, I would have made him look more edgy than modern Sonic. Give him his cheesy 90s surfer voice from Julia White. I think it. Or replace him with fucking Ryan Drummond. Find somebody that could do that surfer voice accent. Like that, hey dude. Also, to get it out the way, people are saying Japanese Sonic wasn't a cute little baby boy in Japan. Go read the Sonic 1 manga. Sonic literally curses. Sonic did have attitude. Sonic was more edgy in Japan than America. I don't know what type of shit Japanese Sonic purists be smoking, but I want some. They just out here be lying about Sonic lore, and they're making up their little fanfic. Yeah, Japanese Sonic purists. They just be making up their own headcanon. Yeah, and half of this Japanese Sonic purists are Dragon Ball fans. I'm a Dragon Ball fan, but I'm not gonna glaze Japanese Sonic to high heavens. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not gonna be sucking his little blue dick all fucking day, bro. I just want to get the point out the way. Japanese Sonic and American Sonic aren't that different. It's just American Sonic is more sanitized, because you can't have Sonic dropping an F-bomb on TV. But to be honest, classic Sonic is kind of a silent character. Yeah, he talks in the cartoons and stuff, but in the commercials, he was like a silent brat. He was a silent brat. So in Generations, I think he was based off of those 90s commercials, like the Sonic 1 Game Gear commercial, the Sonic Mania Day commercial. I think Sonic in Generations was based off that. But I don't like his design in Generations. He just looks so babyfied. He looks so sanitized. Look at him. He looks like he babes in baby oil. He looks so weird in Generations. Not my Sonic. Even Japanese Sonic was fucking edgy with his fucking mean ass face. Yeah, I said it. even Japanese Sonic was mean and edgy, and that's the same version of the same character as American Sonic, Sonic Pierce. Let's talk about the gameplay of the Genesis slash CD slash 32X games. It's basically like playing pinball with some mix of Mario in it. That's how I'm gonna shortly summarize it. Yeah, I really just downplay the game mechanics. You roll down a hill when you're in a ball. You can move really fast. If you go down a slope fast enough, you could run fast. Sonic could break through most walls when in ball form. Sonic could kill enemy. Sonic could destroy robots if he's rolling down as a ball. Let's talk about Tails' mechanic. Tails could fly up. Tails could do most of the things Sonic can. Also, I'll be saying the drop dash is part of Sonic's mechanic. Even though it wasn't invented in the 90s, I'm going to still use it to make Sonic sound unique. Let's talk about Knuckles. Knuckles could glide and cotton walls. Amy wasn't playable in the original games, but let's go off of her origins appearance. Amy has a double jump, the instant shield, and can smash her hammer on the ground. I forgot to talk about the others' personalities. Tails is a bit timid and shy, but can step up to a challenge. Knuckles he's not stupid, he's just kind of gullible. I don't know why Boom Knuckles is stupid, but Game Knuckles from the 90s wasn't stupid. He was kind of smarter than Sonic. He was just gullible. Amy Rose, her whole personality in the 90s was being a tomboyish girl. She was tomboyish, but also infatuated with Sonic, who doesn't even like her. Classic Sonic doesn't like Amy. Modern Sonic likes Amy. He's just shy. Classic Sonic and modern Sonic, let's talk about the difference in character. Modern Sonic is a bit of a shy person. Classic Sonic, sure, he's shy sometimes, but he's quiet and he keeps to himself sometimes, but he's not afraid to speak his mind. So if you really piss him off, he's gonna tell you to fuck off. And, that's the thing I like with 90s Sonic. They're not afraid to, make a character mean. I usually don't like mean characters in fiction, but Sonic just works well. To be honest, Sonic just works. Let's be for real here. Sonic as a mean character just works. Anyways, let's talk about the Game Gear games again. I know I just said the Game Gear games, but I didn't talk about the mechanics. It's basically a watered down version of the Genesis. Sonic also has a peel out in most of the games. It's also called a strike dash. Anyways, let's talk about the UK Sonic comics. I'm not talking about Archie because I fucking hate Archie. It's fucking weird. Except post reboot. The reboot was actually pretty good, but Archie before was fucking weird. Sonic was just Sonic, He was kind of the same, but it's just fucking weird seeing Sonic have a girlfriend. It's kind of fucking weird seeing Sonic have a girlfriend. Because I always thought Sonic was the type to, not have enough time for a girlfriend, but I guess he has enough time for Sally, I guess. Also, Son Amy should never happen because, there's clearly a age gap, but Sonic and Amy have been going on dates in the comics and games. I just kind of find it weird seeing a 15-year-old go out with a 12-year-old. And at the time, Sonic was around, in the classic era, Sonic is around 11 or 10. I think 13 or 12, I mean. Amy was about 8 or 7. Tails was about 3 or 4. Knuckles was around 13 or 14. I'll just say Sonic was 13. Knuckles was 14. Tails was 4. And Amy was 8 around the classic era. The 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 early to mid 90s. We're not talking about Mania and Superstars because they're not really classic. They're more or less a new take on what was originally made. Also, Mania's overrated, even though I fucking love Mania. And to also be honest with you, Mania could have been done so much better in so many ways. Why did they just stuck to the Genesis style movement? They could have went for, a different unique style. Also, I don't count Mania as a Sonic game. I count it more as like a mixtape of different Sonic games that you could play. And no, Sonic fans, the new unique levels are just you playing most of the concept levels from earlier games. So no, I count it as a mixtape. Mirage Saloon, Sky Chase, but desert. Press Garden Zone, unique. Studiopolis, literally. Chemical Plant Zone, mixed with Carnival Night. Why did they even put Studiopolis here if they're gonna have Stardust Speedway in the game? Also, continuing from Knuckles Chaotix, Metal Sonic Kai returns to assist Eggman. Metal Sonic Kai is modern day Metal Sonic. Also, let's get this straight. Modern Sonic and classic Sonic, it really depends, but they're the same character. It just really depends on how Sega's feeling. If Sega wants to make us mad, they say they're separate characters and that classic Sonic's from a different dimension. Which I think is kind of stupid considering why even bother making them younger. Actually, why did they bother making them older in the new games? Sonic now, around Frontiers to Shadow Gems, is about 21, I think. Sonic from Sonic Adventure 206 is around 15 to 16. So, Sonic from Sonic, in my opinion, I don't think Sonic Gem was very accurate. Because Sonic Gem was released, I think, around 1997. So it was like right a year before the Dreamcast era. So Sonic around that time, not around Sonic 1 to 3K, was that old. He was around 7, not 7, but around 10 to 13, around that time. Like in Sonic 1, it took Sonic about a day to defeat Eggman. Sonic CD, it took him around 2 days to beat Eggman. In Sonic 2, it took around, counting Chemical Plant Zone, Casino Night Zone, Mystic Cave, Oil Ocean. It took him about 3 days to beat Eggman. Considering how big Sonic 3 is, Sonic 3 did not take that long. It took him around 2 days to beat Eggman and Sonic CD. It also took him a day in Sonic Spinball. That's basically it. And Knuckles Chaotix is Sonic 4, and you can't tell me otherwise. It's just a natural evolution of Knuckles' story, picking up where Sonic 3 Knuckles story left off. Sonic leaving Knuckles on Carnival Island to go defeat Eggman on Vejo Fortress. I'll just save that for a timeline video, but 90s Sonic isn't what Sega's promoting classic Sonic as today. Sega is trying to brainwash you into thinking classic Sonic was a cute character. No, the fuck he wasn't. Yeah, he looked cute sometimes, but most of the time he was either making angry expressions, he looked like he was about to do a stupid ass stunt. He looks like he's used to going to the principal office. Anyways, don't let the new classic Sonic brainwash this type of Sonic. Because classic Sonic feels like a tumor to modern Sonic. And just feels like we're going back in time and not letting this character grow as a human. Because Sonic went through a character arc. He went from kind of a jerk with attitude to a person who could understand. He listens. He understands. Like say Sad AM, because Sad AM's a perfect example. Putting Sad AM or OVA Sonic next to Sonic in the Black Knight Sonic, it's just a natural evolution. And people like to make fun of Sonic making corny jokes, but that's a natural evolution, because Sonic's learning to be more positive. People love to make fun of Sonic from Colors for making corny jokes and being annoying, but that's a natural evolution. Sonic's figuring out what it is to be more positive. He's trying to be more positive, because Adventure Sonic was a little more positive than Sonic from the classic games, but he was still kind of mean. Anyways, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would be highly appreciated if you do. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.